Hey, what's up? It's Frank here from datadriven.tv, and I am here today at the Global Azure Bootcamp 2018 here in wonderful Reston, Virginia. And with me, I think this is his third time on the show.
Hey, everyone.
Is Brian Moran. That's the first three-peater, actually. Yeah.
Nice. Do I get like a prize or a trophy or something?
You get the.
Can I get a cookie? Can I get one of the free? The cookies?
I'll get you a free cookie and I'll buy you a
cookie?
free beer. How about
Nice.
that?
Nice.
So first off, not a lot of people have actually, I think, have heard of Global Azure Bootcamp, and it's a global event. So can you tell me exactly what it is and how many places it's taking place?
Sure. Yeah. So I actually don't even know exactly when it got started, but it's been going on for a couple of years now. I think it's up to like just over 200 events around the world. They all happen on the same day. This is the second time in Reston I've been involved with it. So our event, I don't know how big all of the events are, but we're here at the Microsoft office in Reston, and we had about probably like a little over 160. Well, we had way more people register, but it's a free event. It's a Saturday.
Right.
We had way over 160 people actually attend the event. We had some keynotes in the morning, breakout sessions. We're running with one of the Microsoft CSAs. We're running some hands-on labs. So
And CSA, for those that don't know.
Cloud Solution Architect, one of the many three-letter acronyms that Microsoft likes. So it's been a really good event so far.
Cool. And speaking of three-letter acronyms that Microsoft likes, in previous shows I've kind of alluded to a special surprise and an announcement. I am actually now a TSP back at Microsoft, which stands for Technical Sales Professional.
It does.
And I'm a technical sales professional.
No, I think it actually stands for Technical Solutions Professional.
Oh, Technical Solutions Professional.
We want to trick everybody to not have them realize you're actually a salesperson.
Well, I'm selling them the solution.
Exactly.
Right? That's really what it's about. So in the space of big data and artificial intelligence. So I am crazy super excited, which is,
that's super high level.
There's excited, super excited, crazy super excited.
And I'm super excited because Frank's on my team.
Right.
I'm a SSP, which is my title actually has sales in it.
Super special person.
Super special person, yes. That's what my wife says all the time.
With a certain inflection on special,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. My kids call me special, too. I don't get any respect anywhere. But yeah, so my team and I, for the territory I cover, we cover accounts from Baltimore down to Richmond. I've got a couple TSPs on my team, and our job is to help customers maximize their investment in Microsoft data. So.
Right, and I think as well as understanding the value that they have in their data.
Well, absolutely.
Because a lot of this stuff was science fiction. I mean, the idea that you can feed images and it would learn. This was a project I was on at my last employer, where they were talking about the ability to. It was actually a Microsoft TSP that suggested this. And they wanted to take images from traffic cams and train it that, this traffic cam is when there's a lot of traffic, when there's light traffic, when there's heavy traffic. And I sat there and I thought, it's like, oh yeah, I guess that's really easy now to do, relatively.
Well, it is. Well, that's, now I really need to remember this quote. I'm embarrassed. I think it was either like Carl Sagan or Isaac Asimov. Mm-hmm. But there's a quote that basically goes along the line of, any technology that's sufficiently advanced appears magic.
Arthur C. Clarke.
Oh, that's who it was. Yes. So, and I've actually, I really need to remember the quote better because I've been kind of using that when I've been with customers, and a lot of times I'll literally pull out my phone and I'll say, if this was 20 years ago,
right,
and I said I have in my pocket the entirety of human knowledge, people would think I was crazy, or if I went back far enough, they would call me a witch and burn me at the stake. Right. But today with AI or our cognitive services platform, the truth is things that are easy. Well, I know easy is not the right word, but things that are very doable today just were like magic. Just a really short period.
Like 5 years ago it was magic. 3 years ago it was reserved for like the NASA's.
Well, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Look at what I tell people. So 2 years ago, unless you were, NSA or somebody like that, this stuff was just beyond your reach. And, now it's one of the things we like to talk about is democratizing AI. And, kind of the message there is, you used to have to be, like a PhD, right, to do data science, oversimplified, right? But that's what it boiled down to.
Right.
What Microsoft's done is, we've paid a lot of money to a lot of really smart PhD people to train these cognitive services.
Right.
And now to do AI, in a lot of cases, you just need to be a developer who knows how to call APIs.
Right.
So
yeah, a lot of the complexity is hidden behind REST services or APIs, and they already MSR has been around since the 90s, so they already were paying the PhDs anyway. So might as well have them productize something. But no, I mean it's pretty remarkable what has happened in this space where it becomes. Fortunately, most people that will be listening to this will be audio, so they won't see kind of like the awkward lighting and stuff like that.
People rarely want to look at me anyway. I mean, I'm not a good-looking guy, just to be honest.
I think we both have faces for radio, right, and podcasting. So, this is a great event. I noticed that I've seen the Global Azure Bootcamps before, but I always assumed it was about, how do you put a website on Azure?
No, that's a good point. So now our event might be skewed a little bit different than some of them. So a friend of mine who also runs the local SQL Server user group with me, Tim Mackelil, who's also one of my TSPs.
Fellow team member of mine.
Team member with Frank, exactly. So we're the organizers of this event, and we're data people, and we pick the tracks. So our event might be a little bit more skewed towards data than some, but today we had a good mix of kind of like all up Azure topics, and it's all and Microsoft loves the event. So Microsoft, like for example, Microsoft paid for lunch for the event, and part of the reason Microsoft loves it is because what we try and do is we make, especially for customers who might be new to Azure, we help them figure out how to get started with moving their first workloads to the cloud. So beyond sessions, kind of traditional sessions, all afternoon we've been running. We've been running like some hands-on labs.
But I saw a healthy amount on the schedule. I saw a healthy amount of AI stuff.
We did, yeah. We had the short answer is yes. We had a couple topics that were AI related. Now, again, that might be personal bias, because so if I love Microsoft, I really do. If I won Powerball tomorrow, maybe I wouldn't keep working at Microsoft because it's a little bit hectic. But I would find a way to stay involved in like the AI space and do what I'm doing. So
then you could be a sought after venture fund guy.
Exactly.
You'd be on Shark Tank.
That's what I would do. Exactly.
And you could wear whatever you want. You could rock the colorful shirts and
exactly. That would be my thing.
That would be your thing, and you can turn that into a brand. Exactly. There you go. So go get your tickets.
I'm always bummed. I never win, but I don't play usually. So.
Right. I'm just I think it's an interesting thing because if you had asked me 3-4 years ago that I'd be speaking at data events, I'm like, because developers typically there's always a loggerhead or they're always at odds between developer and data people. But I think with the rise of AI, those distinctions are gone or they're wasting away, right? I mean, do you see that too? Yours as a data guy, you're like.
I'm just going to be honest. Data guys are still better.
See, tomato.
But I would agree.
Data guys from Staten Island.
Yeah, there we go. But no, there's absolutely a lot of truth to that.
Right.
There's absolutely a lot of truth to that.
Well, that's what we do on the podcast. If you're listening to this, you're already a subscriber. But one of the reasons why Andy, you go way back, Andy and me go way back. But one of the reasons I want to do the show with Andy, aside from the fact he's an awesome guy, was the fact that I'm a software engineer and he's a data guy. And, for a software engineer to start spouting about data science or data stuff, it would just seem, to me, inadequate. But to have the two of us and kind of working together, he can take it from more of a data perspective. I can take it from more a software engineering perspective.
Absolutely.
Which I think has been a secret to our success. We're at like 40,000 something downloads, 44,000 I think in 11 months. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really.
And we've spent really nothing on marketing in terms of just word of mouth and.
I'm just gonna say, you said earlier, I'm the only person who's been on it 3 times. So
maybe it's you.
It could be me.
Maybe it's you.
Could be me.
You need your own show, dude. Data and Crocs? No.
There we go.
There you go.
That could work.
Awesome. So how often does this boot camp happen? Is it once a year, twice a year?
The Azure Global Bootcamp is once a year. They're all on the same day. Okay. It's like a kind of a national kind of movement that kind of like organizes it. Right. The other thing, so I don't know how long we'll keep talking over this podcast, but so you know all about this. Another thing Tim and I do that is turning to a little like kind of taking on a life of its own a little bit too. But we did our first Azure Data Fest back last fall,
right,
in Reston, and that was a 2-day event just on kind of like Azure data, of course.
Right.
But the themes are big data, advanced analytics, AI, ML. Right, all kind of like cloud stuff.
Right.
And since then, we did an Azure Data Fest in Boston. Upcoming soon, we have Azure Data Fests in Malvern, outside of Philadelphia. We have one happening in San Francisco.
Right.
And very soon, and we're planning one in Atlanta this August.
Nice.
And the next Reston one will be this fall. And that one last year we had about 150 people. Where we're that's the maximum we can fit here in Reston at the Microsoft facility, but we're looking to maybe partner with like a local university or something and see if we can scale to like a 300-person event or something.
Very cool. So if you missed today's festivities, you'll have plenty of chances to learn in Philly, Atlanta, and San Francisco, and back in DC. Speaking of DC, I know this is a complete sidetrack. Databricks is doing a shindig.
Absolutely. So yes, I'll talk about that really quick. First, like for folks who don't know, really quick, right? Databricks is what was built by the company Databricks. Was built by the people at Berkeley, the professors who essentially invented Spark, right? They built the Spark project. Databricks does some things that Spark doesn't do. It's sort of like a premium version of Spark with some other stuff bundled in. And Microsoft and Databricks have established a really, really, really deep relationship. And I think it's general availability, and I think it's launched.
It is, yeah.
Right?
I thought they would wait till build, but it's out now.
Yeah, so Azure Databricks is a first-party solution, and it's the first time this has ever happened where, so it's actually an Azure offering, like it's just you subscribe to it through your Microsoft subscription. You don't have to it's not an app that you have to like add in through like the store environment, right?
Right.
But it was built in very, very, very close partnership with like the highest levels of the Azure and the data services team, as well as the like most senior Databricks engineers. And it's a great offering. So what's happening is, I don't know how many cities, like 15, maybe 20 cities around the country, there are one-day free events that are happening, like kind of level 300, 400 hands-on training for developers to kind of get spun up to speed on what Databricks can do. There's one in Chevy Chase, which is outside of DC, on May 15th. I think that's
it's early May or mid-May or somewhere like around that. Yeah.
And then there's a whole bunch of other
this is Chevy
events.
Chase, Maryland, not the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that would be weird.
I don't think he's a big data guy.
I don't think he is. No, probably not.
I'm not sure.
He doesn't have to be. He makes enough money to win us. But well, cool. So back to the festivities, and be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and I think you can play us on Amazon Alexa. If you say, Alexa, play the podcast Data Driven, you'll hear our wonderful voices.
What's Amazon? I haven't heard of them.
Oh, they're a book company.